Welcome back to the Healthy Commute. I'm Dr. Dan with Dr. Pascal. So today I want to talk about an interesting topic. I've heard it a few times this week with patients, but it's basically that saying, "Oh, doc, I feel old today." So for sure.
I think I've said it myself sometimes too, but I've pushed my limits probably too much.
True.
But yeah, so I know where that feeling comes from.
So I guess what we want to basically go through is, okay, so what does that basically look like and feel like? Why are we brought to that point where we basically say, "Oh, geez, I feel old."
For sure.
Like, what kind of happens on the inside? And the funny part is, I have a 19-year-old patient, right, that keeps telling me that, when I haven't seen him in a while, he comes back, he's like, "Oh, doc, I feel old." But really why he's saying that is why? Because he's not moving or feeling well and not able to do what he wants to do. Whether you're 19, 40, 60, or 80, if you're at the point where you're not able to do what in your mind you want to be doing or you think you should be able to do, then you go, "Oh, geez, I feel old."
Absolutely. So yeah, if you can't move or do things that you would deem as an age-appropriate task, activity, you feel old because you're defeated that you can't do these things that you think you should be able to do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So first of all, looking old
For sure.
is one thing. And sometimes, we kind of use that a judgment. Sometimes we're looking at people and go, "Oh, okay. Oh, wow, this guy looks super young for his age or older than they should be for their age." And some of those things kind of come back to posture or their ability to go through a full range of motion. Bending down and picking up, keys that fell on the ground. Like, is that done quickly or is that done with lots of effort, right? So looking old a lot of times falls back on posture.
And ability to move. But yes, posture would be, I think, the number one indicator of someone's age appearance. Obviously there's things like wrinkles and gray hair and all those things, of course, but yeah, posture can significantly impact that, and we see that a lot with patients. Like when we start doing care with somebody and we take posture pictures, and then maybe a few months down the road we retake posture pictures and we review that posture. Oftentimes we've seen a massive decrease. Like, it's so common for them to see it themselves and for us to notice that person looks 10 or 20 years younger. Why? Well, we didn't dye their hair, we didn't take away any of the skin wrinkles or anything like that. It's just simply the fact that once that posture improves, you look so much more youthful. We were discussing this earlier, the amount of money that's now spent every year on different, anti-aging techniques, let alone like Botox and all the plastic surgery. People have this, massive desire or obsession to stay youthful and not age.
But I think that's the interesting point here is why do they not want to age is they want to hold on to what they have.
Right.
And there's a difference between like physically, or surface-like looking young.
Right.
But really, what they really want though is like, it doesn't matter if you're sitting on a couch looking good but you can't move. That to me does nothing. I want to be able to go through a full movement and do whatever I want to or want to do when I'm 80, 90, 100 years old, to be whether playing with grandkids, traveling, doing all those things. But for that to happen, I need to be able to be able to move properly now and continue that movement.
Absolutely.
Right?
And I think people often maybe don't understand why they're feeling old. Like, what is it? It's not age that's causing you, it's not time, I should say, that's causing you to have these feelings of slow moving, stiffness, pain. It's more about what do the joints and the muscles feel like. I've heard it referred to as you only feel as old as you treat your joints. In other words, if you don't treat your joints and the musculature of the whole musculoskeletal system properly, you're going to feel stiff, sore, and pain, and older than you are for your biological age, right?
So I guess where we want to kind of break this down for you a little bit is what is causing you or for your body to break down faster. Right. Let's say we can't stop aging. That will happen. But what we can do is age gracefully, be able to move kind of throughout the years. Yep. So one of the things like we talked about is that's going to break down or stress your body the most is posture, right? Yep. So for example, if your head is sticking way forward, your middle back is going back, your pelvis is kind of like causing a zigzag posture, gravity on your body is going to break it down much faster because now ligaments and muscles and tendons are going to try to do a lot of work just to hold you together. things are going to get stiffer, and rest really equals rust.
Yeah.
So if the body hasn't been moving, it will stiffen up
Yeah.
and age dramatically faster.
So I think a very important point to make there is we're going to discuss 4, I guess, categories or areas that will make you feel older or break down your body. And then each one of these categories could be just one independent factor. If you add all 4 together, I mean, it's exponential in their effect. But like, so let's talk about posture again. We'll take a 40-year-old female, for instance, matched to height, weight, all the lifestyle factors being identical and equal. You have one with perfect posture and one with poor posture. Guaranteed, the one with poor posture is going to have more stiffness, more pain, and feel, quote unquote, older than the one with good posture.
Right.
All other factors aside, right?
Yeah.
So then, number 2 you said was rest equals rust. In other words, lack of motion.
Yeah.
That's another big one, and I think COVID has really brought that out, right? People sitting around more, and like someone mentioned to me this weekend, like, Doc, I guess I didn't do enough this weekend because I laid around on the couch and I have more pain today. Yeah.
Right.
Because when you don't move, your joints stiffen up, there's more scar tissue that's building more inflammation, and things feel stiff. Like you talked about the rusty chain versus the well-lubed chain that moves properly.
Yeah.
So the less you move your joints, the more you stiffen, the more they hurt, the more problems you have long term.
And like you mentioned, this pandemic and the effect that has had on people, but even people working from home and not getting into their car and parking the car and then walking for 5 or 10 minutes, to get to work, and then from there going to a meeting, and then going upstairs or whatever, going to the washroom. And there's movement throughout the day versus you get out of bed and you go to the dining room table and you work, and then there's no movement. So there's, gyms were closed, there's, you can't go out and see anybody, so you're just literally left to sit and rest and rot.
Yep.
So that created this extra stiffness and soreness in a lot of people. So we cannot kind of say this enough, that you need to properly move your body on a daily basis.
Yep.
For as long as you want to live, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to have a 3-hour workout every day, but moving is key. So whether it's stretching, moving, walking, working out, biking, hiking, they could be all these different things that you could do, but you need to move every single day.
Yeah, and really, the reality is, more than the workout, Dr. Dan, those low-grade movements are better for the joints, are better for feeling young, longevity, all of the above. That low-grade movement is way better, And it's interesting for people who can track it, and I love to track it. Again, we've talked about the different trackers, the Apple Watch. I use the Oura Ring to track my movement. But this weekend, I didn't do a workout per se on a couple of the days. All I did was play outside with my kids and do some yard work. And I was burning more calories on those days of just low-grade activity outside, not really getting my heart rate up or doing anything crazy.
Right.
20,000 steps, burning 3,000 calories a day without having to do a workout, right? And so the activity score on this is like, hey, 100, good job for moving all day, as opposed to, being sedentary, trying to crush that hour workout, right? Which is, okay, it's better than not doing exercise, but if you want to talk about longevity, not feeling old, low-grade activity throughout the entire day is way better for your health.
Well, that's why a few years ago the big topic was sitting is the new smoking. And the reason why they coined that phrase is just like you can't undo 2 packs of cigarettes a day with a workout every day. It cannot physically get removed. Just like sitting all day, even if you sat all day and you do a great workout at the end of the day, it's not going to undo those effects. So we need to be just systematically moving as much as we possibly can.
And one of those ways is to, get up, take breaks from your computer, and go drink water, right?
Because that's number 3.
Hydration is important, right? And so,
well done.
Yeah, I mean, hydration, realistically, it's so overlooked often. I mean, I know we've talked about it, and we won't get into all the details that I love to analyze for hydration. Yes. But hydration is fantastic. It's often well overlooked, and I think most people don't drink enough water, right?
Well, again, hydration is key for joints, which we talked about earlier, about having joints that move well. It helps us feel well. So hydration is key for that. Hydration is great for skin for literally for your body to function well. We need water. So I think everybody kind of understands that. The key thing now is, okay, so what plan do you have systematically to make sure that you're drinking enough water every day? Yeah. And number 4,
nutrition, right? I mean, again, all other factors aside, you take 2 people, the exact same, life status. One has good nutrition, one has poor nutrition. The one with poor nutrition is going to feel more stiffness. Why? Because of inflammation, right? A poor diet leads to higher levels of what's called inflammation. I've heard it referred to before as like someone literally having like a flamethrower throughout your veins or your joints, right? They're burning the joints, and that feeling of inflammation is going to cause things to go ouch, right? And the more things hurt, the less you're going to want to move them. The less you move them, the muscles tighten up, joints tighten up, and it's this vicious cascade that just progressively gets worse and worse.
So I guess probably the easy part to understand there is, let's say, processed foods versus whole foods, right?
Yeah.
So the more processed or kind of packaged food that you eat, the more inflammation there's going to be in the body. So as a rule of thumb, try to eat as much real food as you possibly can.
Yep.
And again, try to do even the 80-20 rule, stick to, the perfect diet is not what we're kind of after, that's not realistic.
Yep. But
80% should be of your diet should be comprised of real food, vegetables, fruits, some good meat, and then 20%, yes, there's a little bit of a wiggle room there.
Fun, yeah.
Yes, but the biggest part of your diet should be those good foods, which will help to decrease the inflammation, great for the joints, helps you move and function better.
And in today's society, I mean, we're not going to get into all the details of it, but modern agriculture has changed soil content and the nutritional profile of a lot of the foods that we eat. So even with a really good diet, sometimes it's hard to get the status of nutrition that we need in things like, magnesium, omega-3s, zinc, and different antioxidants. So, the reality is it's still good to look at supplementation to help you feel and function better.
Absolutely.
I know you take supplements every day, I take supplements every day, and different supplements like the one that we have now that I absolutely love has a ton of different electrolytes. It's got a ton of different vitamins and minerals. The immune balance or immune essentials.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just taking that daily, omegas, fish oils every day to bring down inflammation.
And turmeric as well, which is a great anti-inflammatory
antioxidant,
and so great to help the joints move better and feel better.
Absolutely, and then bone broth or vitamin C to help the collagen of the joints, right? Because if your joints start to lack collagen and they're breaking down, I mean, you're having just really bad, rough joint surfaces rubbing against each other. Our joints don't like that.
Yeah.
So when we can get some collagen into the diet, have smoother, better, healthier joint surfaces, things move better and feel better.
And we talked about vitamin C in another podcast in terms of the key supplements that, or an essential supplement that we think everyone should take. And the reason for that, vitamin C is great for the immune system, but it's essential for the formation of collagen. And collagen is key, like you mentioned, inside the joint, but also arteries, skin. Everything is dependent on collagen to heal. So if we don't have collagen, we can't properly heal. So or slow down aging, we need our bodies to kind of regenerate and heal properly.
So just to kind of quickly recap, the 4 topics that we discussed were 1, maintaining and trying to improve posture the best possible, right? A healthy posture means less effective gravity, less stiffness, less pressure to the joints.
And then working on obviously keeping your adjustments intact and doing your stretches and exercises at home, that's always key.
Absolutely. Exercising in multiple ways, whether that's just being active outside or getting your body moving throughout the day as much as you can. The more you move, the younger you're going to feel. It's very simple. Hydration, the more hydrated you are, the more pliable, the more flexible you're going to be, the better you're going to feel, the better energy, because obviously age is also going to be related to how much energy do you have, right? Someone that's dehydrated has less energy than someone that is properly hydrated. And then lastly, nutrition.
Perfect.
So getting the right nutrients in every single day.
So hopefully we hear that less and less. We hear that saying, I feel old, less and less, and hopefully that could help you. But again, if you have any questions, concerns, always, we are here to help in any possible way we can. So reach out, 204-474-1159. And with that, have a great rest of your healthy commute.